Hi, my name is Nicole, and this is the CK Diary Podcast. Hi guys, I hope you are having a wonderful week. It is good to see you again. If you ever watch my videos and you think, she sure starts a lot of things, but she doesn't finish them, this is the episode for you. I have 3 finished objects for you. Really 2.5. You'll see why. I've got 1 whip and no acquisitions, and we'll do a spotlight pattern. So let's dive in. I will start with my finished objects. We'll talk life stuff too, but I'm excited about these. So I finished my son's dinosaur sweater. This is the Knitting for Olive pattern, the dinosaur sweater. It should have so this was in Tarsha, and there were 2 different versions of the sweater. You could have done all of the details. You know what? I'll put a picture up on the screen of what the finished object looks like, what Knitting for Olive's finished object looks like. You can do all the details with the Intarsha. This was my first time doing Intarsha. I did not want to hold that many colors at the same time or hold that many balls of yarn at the same time. So I opted for the second option, which was to duplicate stitch them on later. But my son has kind of gone back and forth on whether or not he wants those, so I have not done that yet. However, this is my half finished object. The reason why is because of the neck. I did the neck exactly like the size 6 called for. I don't know if I bound it off too tightly. I'm not sure, but the neck does not go over my son's head. I think what I'm going to do though, because you can see some gapping in the picked up stitches, there were quite a few opportunities for some extra picked up stitches, and I just did the count that they had on the pattern, so I did not take those opportunities. But I think I'm just going to, I've got plenty of this yarn left over, but not enough to do another project after I'm done with this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this part off, because the neck wasn't on hold or anything. They were just, I had to pick all of the stitches up. So I think what I'm going to do, just to make this quicker for myself, is cut this off and then redo the neck. It was not long at all to redo the neck. It's always annoying to have to go back and redo things. But if there was a problem with this sweater, I'm glad that it was this, because it is a super quick and easy fix. I thought about just trying to bind it off with a stretchier bind off, because I just did a regular bind off. I think I did. Yeah, I just did a regular bind off for the sleeves. So I did a regular bind off for the neck as well. But I think I'm just going to go do the whole thing over again and just pick up more stitches this time. I also I ended up blocking the neck. I just got the neck wet and then stretched it out as far as I possibly could. Just the neck. I didn't touch the body of the sweater at all. And it just will not fit over his head. All right, so that is that for the kind of finished object. My next finished object is my Oslo hat. This is a pattern by Petite Knit. I have made one of these before. I love it. I would try it on for you, but well, you know what? Why not? Why not? It's okay if my hair is messy the rest of the time. I love it. I love the Oslo hat. I have 3 more Oslo hats planned. I have 1 for each of my sons and then 1 for myself, using the yarn that I got from DFW, the Red Stag Fiber. I think it's called Water Avon. It's a very pretty pink yarn. So I have another plan for one of these hats. This is my favorite hat construction I've ever tried, that I've ever looked at, that I've ever seen a picture of. This is just going to be my go-to beanie. It is 100% stockinette stitch. The whole hat is. There's no purling in this hat at all. Right? Yeah, no purling at all in this hat. And I just love the construction. I love the cuff here. I love that it folds up. This is just my absolute, I feel like it looks like a store-bought beanie, which I know sometimes it's nice to have knitted objects that look hand knit, but I love this hat. So I plan to make many more. This is also of all of the things that I've made, this is probably what I've had the most people ask me to make for them. All right, let's see. And for my last finished object, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that I finished it. It is my Anchor summer top, or my Anchor summer shirt. Get it closer for you guys so you can see it. So it is full ribbing on the yoke, and then the rest of the shirt is stockinette. And then, of course, the sleeves and the bottom have ribbing. But I finished it. I finished it in my 7-day timeline that I gave myself. It was so exciting. It was a lot of fun. I probably won't challenge myself like that again, not while I have young children in the home, because it took up, I've talked about this before on the podcast. I don't usually knit during the day, unless, the house is clean and my boys both nap. Or if I do knit during the day, it's while the boys are preoccupied at the playground or at a friend's. Like if we go to a friend's house and they're playing with their friends, I'll sit there and knit while they play. But for the most part, I don't knit during the day. I knit like whenever we're in the car, and I'll knit at night while we watch our shows. So this killed my hands, and I stayed up way, way later than I should have most nights. But those are my 3 finished objects. I was really excited to have some actual finished objects to share with you today. Usually, I've finished some things. I think I went and put everything into my Ravelry and updated my Ravelry a few nights ago. And I think I've had 13 finished objects this year. 4, I'm trying to think. 3 of them were shirts for myself. One of them, I think another one was a pretty big object. Oh yeah, the anthology throw. So some pretty big objects. The anthology throw I started this year too. That wasn't carried over from last year. So, and all of the shirts were started this year. So those were, pretty sizable objects. Not too bad for being at the beginning of October. I have a million whips that I'd like to get through, and that is what I'm doing now. These 2 were whips, not carried over from last year, but just whips that I had sitting that I wanted to get off the needles. And I have a lot more. Most of them are socks, single socks, halfway done socks, things like that. And this is the one that I'm working on currently. I cast this on while we were at DFW. This is Leah. Leah loves to knit her pattern. This is the Dragonfly socks. This is for her Knit People Knit KAL that is going on right now. I'll put all of the information for that down below so that you can join in on the fun. This is a yarn that was dyed for her KAL. This is from Florida Girl Fibers. It's a party sock set. There's also a neon pink yarn that goes with this, but I don't think I'm going to use it in this sock. I think I'm just going to do the lavender heel and then do the rest of it with the main color. I love this pattern. It is I saw someone on Instagram describe it as an addicting repeat, and it is an addicting repeat. It's just enough to keep things interesting, but not so difficult that you have to have the pattern with you while you're doing it, and I really like that. And then it's fun. I was talking to Leah about it. I was worried that maybe the texture wouldn't really pop as much since there's so much going on in there's so much variegation in the yarn. But obviously you can see it's a great pop of texture. You can still definitely see it. And then, once I put it on too, that'll make it pop even more. Let me see, put my arm in it a little bit. My hand. Anyway, so I'm excited. I did the heel flap and the heel turn while we were out and about tonight in the car. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to go ahead and redo the neck tonight on this sweater while we watch our show. We've been watching Downton Abbey. So good. I watched it a long time ago. When did Downton Abbey come out? Downton Abbey. Because I watched it when it first came out, 2010. So I was, how old am I? Oh gosh, that was 15 years ago? Oh my gosh. Okay. I was watching it whenever I was 13. So junior high school. I don't think I ever finished it. I don't remember a lot of it. A lot of the things, or I like misremember a lot of things. Like there have been things that have happened that I was like, whoa, I don't remember that. Or things that haven't happened that I was like, I'm pretty sure that this happened by now. So it's been fun. It's been fun rewatching it, and it's kind of like watching a whole new show because I don't remember a lot of it. I don't know what season we're on. I think we're on like season 5 or something. How many seasons are there? Oh, there's 5 seasons. Oh no. I didn't think we were that far along. I know they have a couple of movies too. There's no way we're on the last show. Now I'm like off on a tangent. I feel like because we're on the last episode of a season, but if it ends right now, it's going to be such a cliffhanger. And I just feel like there's no way. No way. Okay, yeah, we haven't seen this yet. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking I must have gotten the season wrong. We must be on season 4. Anyway, I digress. Let's see. That's all I had for finished objects and whips. I am working on my temperature blanket too. If you've been here since the beginning, you will know the temperature blanket saga. I started a temperature blanket for my mother-in-law. I meant to give it to her for Christmas 2 years ago, which is crazy. And I didn't realize how big of a project it was when I was first taking it on. I started it. It was one of the very first projects that I started when I first learned how to crochet. That was like 2.5 years ago now. So I learned how to crochet in August, 2.5 years ago. I guess it hasn't been 2.5, like 2 years and 2 months ago. And then I learned how to knit the following January. So I haven't been doing this for all that long, you know. And when I first started that temperature blanket, I did not realize how long it was going to take. I did some research on how long it was probably going to be, so I made a width that made sense for the length. And I did 250. I believe it's 250. It actually might be a little bit more, a little bit less now, as I've made mistakes as I've gone. But I believe it's 250 stitches wide. And then obviously 365 rows long, except for 2 additional rows per month, not at the beginning or the end. So that's 10. So 20 additional stitches. So 385 rows. I am on, I believe I just finished October 12th. I'm going to try to finish it by Christmas, but that's what I said last year, and that's what I said the year before. So we will see. So we have Christmas, and then her birthday's in June. So I kind of have like if I don't finish it by Christmas, then I'll have 6 more months. I'll be able to finish it in June. And that's what I've been telling myself for the last 2 years. So anyway, hopefully that'll be done soon. Hopefully I'll be able to show that to you guys. It's just so big. It's not worth dragging it in here to show you guys a couple of rows. So I'll probably wait until it's completely done to show you guys that. I could post a picture or a short of it or something, but just in this space that I have here, and you guys I could barely hold up my shirt in the sweater. Not worth it. Life things. So I started a group in my area of any kind of handiwork. So I was in a knitting group on Wednesday nights, and it went pretty late, and it was 30 minutes away, and which is fine. But I decided to start one kind of closer to home. So we meet between 10 and 15 minutes away. We've only met the one time, but we meet between 10 and 15 minutes away. And I do it a little bit earlier from 6 to 8 in the evening. And we had 3 people at our first meeting. We had 3 people that were planning on coming, but ended up having things come up and they weren't able to join. And it's going to be a weekly thing. And there are already 5 people RSVP'd for next week. So I'm excited. I'm hopeful. We have a new yarn shop coming to the area. And hopefully this month, what's today? October 8th. Hopefully it'll be coming this month. Sorry. I've been having like allergy issues for my whole life, but it just started hitting me all of a sudden. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it's going to be a good group, like a good sized group. The women that I met with last night were great. We had a blast. And they're planning on coming back. So that's a good sign. It's always a little nerve wracking to get started, but once you actually dive in, it's fun. There's a new yarn shop coming to the area, hopefully mid-October. And I think that might draw some people in too. People that like were curious about the craft. It seems like, let me go read. So it's called River City Yarn. It's going to be in Mandarin, and which isn't too far away from me. And the woman who is opening it seems like she's really eager to teach people arts, which is exciting. And she's also very open to children, which is really exciting because I have 2 littles. And sometimes when you go to a yarn shop, yarn is expensive. And it's typically like an older crowd in yarn shops. So sometimes it's a little nerve-wracking bringing your kids in. But she posted this. She only has 3 posts on her page, and this is one of them. Like, only so far, because they haven't opened yet. But I just found this really encouraging that this was one of her first posts. It says, "I found I could say things with color and shapes that I couldn't say any other way, things I had no words for, Georgia O'Keeffe." And then it says, "I wonder if public schools are giving children ample opportunities to use art supplies to make their own creative products, particularly as they progress through elementary, middle, and high school. When my daughter, now 26, was in kindergarten, she had a fabulous teacher, and the public elementary school she attended was wonderful. This was in Northern California, where the state learning standards were high. Even kindergartners had to meet benchmarks in reading, writing, and arithmetic. My daughter got a packet every week with reading passages, spelling and vocabulary activities, and coloring pages with specific instructions about what colors went in each segment. One Thursday night when we were hustling to get the packet completed, there was just the coloring sheet left. She gave a huge sigh and said, 'Why can't they just give us a blank sheet of paper so we can draw what I want?' My favorite pieces from her childhood are the paintings and sculptures where the instructor gave the kids a broad assignment and then let them run with it. What does this have to do with a yarn shop? River City Yarn and Fiber intends to be a hub of creativity and learning. Nurturing creativity and artistic expression depend on practice that is cultivated and encouraged. Elementary school at its best is where children form the habit of being creative and developing the fine motor skills to manipulate a wide variety of materials, from paints and crowns to paper folding and gluing to playing with soft fuzzies like pipe cleaners and pom-poms. I'll make sure that kids of all ages who come into the shop can find fun, creative kits and materials to play with in the store. I'm eager to hear your thoughts." And I just thought that was so exciting to hear from my boys. And my boys are very creative. They love painting. Right now we've been doing a lot of watercolor painting. They love drawing. My oldest has really gotten into coloring lately. They both want to learn how to knit. They both want to learn how to crochet. My oldest is starting to get the dexterity and the attention span for knitting. I talked about it last week or the week before. I just got him a Lucette. And I'm going to teach him. I have to learn how to use it first. So I actually need to take some time out to learn how to use it so that I can teach him how to use it. But we're going to do braiding things. We have a market coming up, a kids market coming up in our neighborhood where, the kids get to bring things to sell, and he wanted to bring bracelets because that's what we have actually what he wanted to do was bake goods, but we're going to be out of town the week before, so I'm not going to have time to bake anything with him. But long story short, we're making bracelets. And I think the braided lucette bracelets might be kind of neat. But anyway, where did I start with this tangent? Oh, that was kind of a runoff. But all that being said, I think having a yarn shop in the area, it will bring something to the area that sparks people's creativity and makes them think like, oh, maybe this is something I'd want to try. And then I think it's always nice to have a group in person where you can ask people questions in person. I've had so many women join the group. We've had 50 women join the group page. But I've had so many women join the group that said that they don't know how to do a handiwork yet, but they'd love to learn, which is super exciting. And that's what groups like this is good for. You can come and you can learn, and it can be an environment where everybody helps each other get better. And obviously having conversation and community with women is fantastic, especially multi-generational. I love meeting with groups that are multi-generational. I mean, just the other night, the ages were 28 to 68. And I was getting ideas from these women that, obviously I've never thought about before because I don't have the life experience that they have. And it was just neat bouncing ideas off of each other. But anyway, all that being said, I am super excited about that group. I'm super hopeful for the growth and hope that it continues to roll into something where we build a strong community, we meet all the time, and maybe even like do little trips together. Or I know She Sells Yarn is about an hour south of us, and they do like a little train ride on Mondays. Like maybe we could do that sometimes. I know some of the women are retired or stay-at-home moms, and maybe we could all go do that together. And if we get enough stay-at-home moms with little kids, we could even do it like with our littles. Just some fun things. I usually I get like excited and start making tons of plans. So I need to like take a breath and let it be what it is. But I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. And really that's it. Other, just all the normal. We homeschool, so that's what we've been doing throughout the week. My son is loving our curriculum. We do the good and the beautiful, and we do one lesson of language arts a day, one lesson of math a day, and then we also do Bible, history, science, and music, which music is like loose. And then we have our class on Wednesdays, which is science, and then cooking or music. And then we have our Thursday co-op, which is for my oldest, it's animal studies and math. And they just do like math games. We don't use it as like a part of their normal curriculum or supplemental. I mean, I guess it is just supplemental then. But he's been loving it, and he asks every single day. He asks if we can do more, and sometimes we can, and sometimes we can. It depends on what else we have going on that day. We went to a pumpkin patch, which in Florida you can't really carve pumpkins and set them outside all of October. You usually have to get your pumpkins and then either keep them inside. Really, we probably won't carve them. We talked about carving them this weekend. Trying to think. No, we didn't. We probably won't carve them until later. We got a couple of pumpkins to paint. It's just if you carve them here too early, it's so hot, they just kind of like mold over and rot. They look like they melt. So we'll probably wait until like the weekend before Halloween to carve them and set them outside. But yeah, anything else? I don't think so. I think that is it. So I guess we can move on to the spotlight pattern of the week. All right, today we are going to talk about the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit. So I am wanting to find a cabled sweater and a colorwork sweater to do. Right now I have the yarn for the cabled sweater. So this is what I have been looking at. There's actually two patterns I've been looking at from Petite Knit, but the other one's a worsted weight, and I have yarn already. It's a BFL yarn from Cascade. It is a really pretty, I should have brought a skein over. I'll show you next week probably. But it is a really pretty like chocolatey brown color, which is, I mean, you can tell I'm into the browns right now. It's a really pretty chocolatey brown color, and I think it will go really good with this pattern. So let's look. This is the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit. It is about $8.19 USD. Let's look at some pictures really quick before we look at all the information. I just think it's fun, all the different texture. It kind of looks like a classic sweater. It kind of looks like one I would have stolen out of my parents' closet whenever I was a kid. I just love I love all of the different textures on it. And I like the oversized fit. Oops. All right, let's look. I also love this little bag that she has here. I think they sell that too. Okay, anyway, sidetrack. Let's see. All right, this was released in August of 2023. It is a DK weight project. Let's see, she recommends 4.0 millimeter and 3.5 millimeter needles. With the Petite Knit patterns, I never gauge swatch anymore. My gauge the first couple of projects that I did of hers, my gauge matched. And ever since, I just use the needles that she uses, and it's always fit the way that it's supposed to. So I don't really gauge swatch for hers anymore. Would I for something this complicated? Maybe. Who's to say? But let's see. All right, the Storm Sweater is worked from the top down in a texture pattern. First, the back yoke is worked and shaped using short rows to form the slope of the shoulders. After this, stitches are picked up and knitted for each shoulder, which are then joined to form the front yoke. The front and back yoke are joined to form the body, which is worked straight down in the round. The sleeves are worked in the round on double-pointed needles or on a circular needle using magic loop technique. A rib edge is worked along the neck, folded double, and knitted down, which I've never done that before, so that'll be a new... I've done it where you knit into, like you fold it and knit into the cast-on edge, but I've never done that before, so it's always fun doing like a new technique. The Storm Sweater is... The Storm Sweater is worked in a texture pattern which has 4 different segments. Begin by knitting a swatch to determine which needle size will give you the correct gauge. Please note that both the stitch gauge and the row gauge needs to be correct for the sweater to end up having the measurements given at the top of the pattern. The swatch can be worked using the chart in the pattern. The pattern is written out with a texture pattern chart. The texture pattern is not written out, which is going to be something I'm going to have to learn because I've never read a chart before. I've always just read the written out portions. Meredith from MD Maker's Diary always tells me that I'm capable of doing it. So I need to just try it. I trust her. I just actually have to try it. So let's see. The bust circumference is 42.5 inches to 63 inches. Let's see, how much positive ease is it supposed to have? With 10.5 inches of positive ease in the smaller sizes, then gradually less in the larger. 10.5 feels like a lot. I don't think I'd like something that oversized. But I'll just have to figure out based on the bust size what I'd want it to be. Because that designed to fit a bust circumference. Okay, so let's see. The measurements are for the finished sweater are listed on the front page of the pattern. Oh, okay, so she doesn't have the measurements for the finished pattern here. This is for the bust size that it's intended to fit. So it would be for the first, she said for the smaller sizes. So for the first few sizes, it would be 10 inches larger. 10.5 inches is a lot of positive ease. I just did the Getty Tee, and I did the one... I think she says that it's intended to have like 6 inches of positive ease. That just feels like a lot of positive ease. So I did one that gave me less positive ease than that. And I still feel like I have a lot of wiggle room. I mean, I don't wear a whole lot that's super fitted, but that's just also a lot of personal preference. That feels like a lot. All right. Difficulty is a 4 out of 5. I need to start pushing myself a little bit more. I'm doing a lot of knits where I feel comfortable, a lot of things that don't feel too complicated or don't use a whole lot of brain power. Like I can just sit down and knit it while I watch TV or have a conversation. And I do want to start being like a little bit more intentional with some of my knitting and like really, which like you don't have to, that's all personal preference. It is nice to just have like a project that I can work on while I watch a show, but I do want to start challenging myself a little bit more in the coming year. And I think this would be a great project to try. All right. Let's see. Oh, it looks good as a man sweater too. Maybe I can, because I have the same exact yarn for my husband. So mine's in like this like chocolatey brown, and then I got his in a green, but it's the same exact yarn. I should do his sleeveless. All right. I'm trying to scroll up so I can go back. Oh, I go back up here. Sorry, I'm still figuring all this out. Yeah, look how cute these are. Ooh, I love this one. I love the gray. Cute. I like the fiber. What was her fiber content? Drops Lima. What is that? Let me go look that up. Drops Lima? 65% wool, 35% alpaca. That's why I like it. I love alpaca. I love the texture of alpaca. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, the red is nice. It'd be cute. I really wanted to do a cabled sweater for one of my sons this year, but neither of them wanted one. Sorry, my laptop went all weird. They both wanted dinosaur sweaters. They did not want cabled sweaters this year, which is fine. Let's see. Oh, another one in the Sandnes yarn. Yeah, that's cute. All right, there's thousands of projects here. Ooh, I like this one too. This red color. That's nice. There's thousands of sweaters here. How many did it say? Yeah, 2,547. All right. Yeah, this is really nice. I quite like it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop. All right, and that is that for the podcast. I have had fun. Been talking for 33 minutes. Probably have a little bit of that to cut out. Probably need to. But yeah, this was great. I'm hoping to get at least this one single sock done. I should definitely have the sweater done whenever I see you guys next week. And I've already cast on my other son's sweater. I need to get that done. It doesn't really get cold here until like the end of December, beginning of January. I mean, we'll have, throughout October, November, we'll have days that are cold. But like last year on Christmas, we were wearing shorts. So probably won't need a heavy sweater. And their sweaters are so tiny, it doesn't take that long. The only problem is that this is knit in panels. So obviously purling takes me a little bit longer than knitting stockinette, even though this is stockinette, but you know what I mean. Plain knitting, I'm quicker than I am at purling. And it's all knit in panels because the entire front is intarsia. So we'll see. And I have like a million things that I want to cast on, but I'm really determined to get some of my whips finished up. I'll have next year. I really want to get my cabled sweater done for winter this year, but I don't know if that would happen anyway, so I might hold off. We'll see. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I've had so much fun chatting with you. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope you have a wonderful week. See you later. Bye.